Okay, so in this video we are going to continue our work with the substitution method by solving this system of equation that has coefficients that are fractions. So what we want to do is we want to clear the fractions from each of these two equations, all right? So let's take a look at just the first equation, the top equation, and you're going to look at all of these denominators, and we need a least common denominator of all three of these, or actually between 2 and 4. And as you know, the least common denominator will be 4. So we're going to go ahead and multiply every single term on both sides of the equation by that LCD, that least common denominator of 4. So what I like to do is just write 4 over 1 times 1/2 x, and then minus, and then I put 4 over 1 times 3/4 y equals, and then I put the 4 over 1 times negative 1/2. So if you can see, I'm putting the least common denominator as a fraction next to each term because I'm multiplying every term by the 4 so that I can clear these fractions. And what I'm going to do now is reduce. So we're going to go one term at a time and reduce. So here 2 goes into itself once and 2 goes into 4 twice. So when I multiply here, I get 2x. And then here the two 4's reduce, so I'm going to have minus 3y equals. And then here I have 1 and a 2, so equals negative 2. Okay, so there's my first equation with no fractions. I'm going to repeat the process with the second equation, and this time it's easier to see here that the least common denominator is the 3. So we're going to multiply by 3 over 1. Okay, I'm going to use my colors here. So I've got all my 3's over 1's written in, and then I'm going to write in my terms from the second equation here, right? Let's see how I'm just putting every term next to its 3 over 1. And again, I'm going to reduce. So here the 3's reduce and leave an x. And then here I have plus 3y because nothing reduced, right? And then here the 3's reduce and I get a negative 10. So let's take a look now at our new improved system of equations, which is 2x minus 3y equals negative 2 as my first equation, and x plus 3y equals negative 10. And we've been asked to solve this equation, or this system by using the substitution method. You see that? In the substitution method, if you recall, we've been using this little organizer, and we always put on the left side of the organizer the equation that's the one that's easiest to solve for one of the variables. And I think you'll agree with me that it's the second one we can easily solve for that x. So I'm going to write that second equation here on the left side of my organizer, and then I'm going to write the remaining equation here on the right. Okay, just like that. And then on my left side, I want to go ahead and solve for that x. And I like using the x here because it's already a 1x. I don't want to recreate and have more fractions, right? So let's just solve for the x, and we'll subtract the 3y, and that gives us our x. So that means that we're going to be taking this x, this side of the equation here, and substituting it for this x here. So rewrite this second equation and put a parenthesis where the x is. See? We're matching it from here, okay? Just put a placeholder there, okay? So I'm going to write the second equation, but leave a placeholder for my x. And then I'm going to replace my x with this negative 3y minus 10. That's what's going to go here in this parentheses. Negative 3y minus 10. And now I'm going to go ahead and solve for y. So I'm going to distribute. So I get negative 6y minus 20 minus 3y equals negative 2. And then I'm going to combine my two like terms here, which gives me negative 9y. And then I'm going to add the 20 over here. So I've got negative 2 plus 20, or 18. Right? So negative 9y equals 18. And then I'm going to divide by negative 9. So I'm getting that y is negative 2. And now to solve for x, I'm going to bring this answer back over to this side and substitute it right here to solve for my x. So x equals negative 3, and then replace with my negative 2 minus 10. So I get 6 minus 10, or x equals negative 4. And now, just to be sure that I'm okay here, let's take these two numbers. So that's my ordered pair, right? Negative 4, negative 2. And let's go ahead and substitute them back into our original equations there. Now, I'll tell you, your calculator could be helpful in this step. So I'm going to go get my calculator. Okay, so in the interest of time, I went ahead and just did the check in my calculator. And again, here's what I did. Here's our ordered pair, and I substituted to the left side of my original equation here, and saw that I did get my negative 1/2. And then I also substituted it to the left side of my second equation, and I got that decimal. Then I used my fraction key to get my negative 10/3. So that's my check. And good idea to always check your answers, especially if you're in a test situation. Just use your calculator. Okay, I hope that helps.